Can you imagine living in a small mountain town, surrounded by fresh air, tranquility, and neighbors who still greet each other by name without ever having to worry about paying rent again? I can imagine it, because I've lived it. Deep in the mountains of the United States, I discovered places like these hidden communities where life moves slowly, coffee still costs what it should, and evenings are spent on the porch, watching the sun slip behind the pines. For me, retirement wasn't about stepping away from the world, but about reconnecting with what truly matters. Here, money stopped being a concern, time regained its value, and each day began with the calm that only exists in places untouched by modern haste. Today, I want to share with you 10 hidden mountain towns' peaceful, affordable havens that might just convince you to leave behind the noise, the stress, and the rent, and begin a new life where peace doesn't cost a thing. 10. Estes Park, Colorado. Estes Park is a mountain town that combines the tranquility of rural life with the majesty of Rocky Mountain National Park. It sits at more than 2,200 meters above sea level, giving it fresh, clean air all year round. When it comes to costs, the average rent for a two-bedroom apartment is around $1,290 per month, which is cheaper than in Denver or Boulder. The overall cost of living is about 15% higher than the national average. But with nuances, food can be up to 20% cheaper, while housing and transportation are more expensive. For a retiree, this means rent is manageable if you choose modest housing and groceries don't weigh heavily on the budget. Daily life here feels like a slow ritual. The farmers market opens early and offers local honey, artisan bread, and fresh vegetables at affordable prices. Eating at a cafe costs between $12 and $15 per person, and a simple coffee is about $3. Neighbors greet each other by name, and shopping becomes more of a social encounter than a quick transaction. The climate is another attraction. Summers are mild, with maximum temperatures around 27 degrees Celsius, perfect for hiking and fishing. Winters are cold, with lows near -10 degrees, and heavy snowfall, more than 80 inches per year, making the town a destination for skiing and winter sports. On top of that, there are more than 230 sunny days per year, ensuring light and energy even in the colder seasons. As for amenities, Estes Park has hospitals nearby in Loveland and Fort Collins, local supermarkets, and larger chains less than an hour's drive away. Public transportation is limited, but most residents get around by car. The community organizes music festivals and craft fairs, and the famous Stanley Hotel adds a historic and cultural touch. At nightfall, warm lights illuminate the wooden houses, and deer wander close without fear, reminding everyone that life here is shared with nature. For those looking to retire, Estes Park offers balance, reasonable rent, an incomparable natural setting, and a community that lives at a human pace. 9. Boone, North Carolina. Boone is a town that breathes youth and tradition at the same time. Its streets mix students with retirees, backpacks with walking sticks, university debates with conversations in cafes. Nestled in the heart of the Appalachians, Boone is a place where the local university brings energy and movement, while the mountains impose a slower rhythm that reminds you life doesn't need to rush. That blend makes it an ideal place to retire, accessible, culturally active, and surrounded by nature. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment ranges between $700 and $1,450, while a three-bedroom can go from $1,200 to $2,500. The cost of living is about 12% lower than the national average, and food can be up to 21% cheaper than in other parts of the country. For a retiree, that means pensions stretch further. For a young person, it means life is possible without falling into debt. The climate in Boone is temperate mountain weather. Summers rarely exceed 27 degrees Celsius, making hiking trails a pleasure. Winters are cold, with lows that can drop to -5 degrees, and enough snow to give the town a picturesque charm without being extreme. Altogether, Boone enjoys more than 200 sunny days per year, ensuring light and energy even in the colder seasons. Daily life has a human touch. Bakeries smell of cinnamon, cafes serve simple coffee for less than $3, and local markets sell bags full of fresh vegetables for under $20. Eating at a family restaurant costs between $12 and $15 per person, with portions that are usually generous. Neighbors know each other, students greet the elderly, and conversations in cafes turn into debates about literature, local politics, or how to protect the forests. In terms of services, Boone has regional hospitals, accessible supermarkets, and public transportation that connects the main neighborhoods. The university guarantees constant cultural activities, concerts, book fairs, open lectures. The town also organizes bluegrass music festivals and craft fairs that strengthen community bonds. By late afternoon, Boone transforms into a musical stage. It's not unusual to find groups improvising in the plazas while neighbors stop to listen. Children dance, adults clap, and elders let themselves be carried away by melodies they've known for a lifetime. Boone is not a town frozen in time. It's a place where tradition reinvents itself every day, and where retiring means becoming part of a community that never stops singing. Before we move on to village number 8 and continue revealing these quiet, hidden mountain villages where you can retire without worrying about rent, subscribe to my channel and leave a like if you want to stay well informed about everything and make sure you make good decisions in the future. 8. Whitefish, Montana. Whitefish isn't discovered through noise, but through silence. It's a town that seems to rest under the shadow of Glacier National Park, where cold air drifts down from snow-covered mountains and the lake reflects a sky that feels larger than anywhere else. Here, life is measured in landscapes, the reflection of water at dawn, the crunch of snow underfoot, the murmur of folk music on summer nights. The rental market here is more demanding. The general average is around $2,700 per month, although in the outskirts and in smaller homes, you can find options below $1,500. The cost of living is slightly above the national average, but the key lies in how life is lived. Local markets offer wild fruits, artisan bread, and cured cheese at lower prices than in big cities. A bag full of fresh products can cost less than $25, and eating in a family cafe is around $12 to $15 per person. The climate is defined by the seasons. Summers are mild, with highs that rarely exceed 27 degrees Celsius, perfect for hiking and fishing on the lake. Winters are long and cold, with lows that can drop to -10 degrees and heavy snow, turning the town into a skiing destination. Altogether, Whitefish enjoys more than 200 sunny days per year, ensuring light even in the harshest seasons. Daily life carries an artistic air. Galleries and fairs are filled with ceramics, paintings, and textiles that reflect the town's identity. Here, art isn't a luxury, but part of everyday life. Retirees find in these activities a way to integrate, to participate in workshops and exhibitions without spending too much. As for services, the local hospital handles emergencies and basic consultations, while larger cities like Kalispell, about 20 minutes away by car, provide specialized care. Public transportation is limited, but the community organizes activities and rides, reinforcing the sense of belonging. When night falls, the streets light up with folk music. Local bands improvise concerts under the stars, and neighbors gather to sing and dance. There are no big stages or neon lights, only the joy of sharing. Whitefish is ideal for those who want to retire in a natural and artistic environment, with the strategy of living on the outskirts or in smaller homes, so rent doesn't become a burden. Here, wealth lies in the union between nature, art, and community. 7. Leavenworth, Washington. Leavenworth doesn't look like an American town at first glance. Its carved wooden facades, sloping roofs, and flower-filled balconies make it resemble a Bavarian village lost in the mountains of Washington. This cultural identity isn't accidental. In the 1960s, locals decided to transform the town into an alpine destination to revitalize the economy. And since then, Leavenworth has lived between German tradition and the calm of the surrounding forests. The average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is around $1,400 per month, placing it below Seattle and other cities in the state. The cost of living is only about 7% higher than the national average, which means that while services and housing may be a little more expensive, the difference isn't prohibitive. For retirees, the key is that rent is manageable and quality of life multiplies thanks to the environment. The climate is marked by the seasons. Summers are warm but pleasant, with highs around 28 degrees Celsius, while winters bring heavy snow and temperatures that can drop to -5 degrees. That snow turns the town into a destination for skiing and winter sports, while in summer the mountains offer trails and rivers for hiking and rafting. Daily life in Leavenworth has a festive air. Local markets sell rye bread, sausages, and craft beer, and eating in a Bavarian restaurant costs between $15 and $20 per person. Cafes offer simpler options, with full breakfasts for less than $10. Retirees enjoy the safety of a peaceful town, while visitors are surprised to see that here routine includes live music, Oktoberfest celebrations, and Christmas fairs with lights that illuminate the entire center. But Leavenworth isn't just a tourist stage. It's a community that lives its cultural identity as part of daily life. Neighbors participate in choirs, Bavarian dance groups, and craft workshops. Retirees find here a space to integrate, whether by helping organize fairs or teaching traditional crafts. Life is measured in celebrations. Each season brings a festival, and each festival is an opportunity to strengthen community bonds. As for services, Leavenworth has local clinics and access to larger hospitals in Wenatchee, about 30 minutes away by car. Public transportation is limited, but the community organizes activities and rides, and most residents get around by car. Supermarkets offer both local and imported products, allowing Bavarian tradition to remain on the table without spending too much. Leavenworth is a place where retiring means living in a unique cultural setting, with affordable rent, varied climate, and a community that celebrates each season as if it were a festival. Here, retirement isn't measured in expenses, but in shared experiences, in the certainty that each day can bring music, lights, and companionship. 6. Dahlonega, Georgia. In 1828, the gold rush turned Dahlonega into a magnet for seekers chasing fortune. Today, the streets still hold that memory. Commemorative plaques, small museums, and stories passed down by locals as part of their identity. But the town's true wealth is no longer in the mines, but in the quiet life it offers to those who choose to stay. The smell of artisan bread and local honey fills the markets each morning. There, a bag full of fresh fruits and vegetables can cost less than $20, while a full breakfast in a downtown cafe rarely exceeds $10. Eating in a family restaurant is between $10 and $12 per person, with portions that are usually generous. With an average rent of $1,100 for a two-bedroom apartment and a cost of living about 10% lower than the national average, pensions stretch comfortably to cover housing, food, and services. Mountain breezes soften the summer heat, even when highs reach 30 degrees Celsius. In winter, lows rarely drop below zero, allowing walks and outdoor activities all year long. That stable climate makes Dahlonega a place where routine feels constant, without extremes that force lifestyle changes. In the plazas, retirees chat leisurely, while tourists wander the streets in search of cultural treasures. Festivals celebrate mining history and folk music, and each season brings a different activity. Harvest festivals in autumn, craft fairs in spring, folk concerts in summer. Here, life is measured in seasons, not in clocks. The community keeps its essence. Neighbors greet each other. Cafes become places where conversations stretch out, and a slow rhythm turns everyday life into wealth. Retirees find in these activities a way to integrate, to participate in community life without needing large expenses. As for services, Dahlonega has local clinics and access to larger hospitals in Gainesville, about 40 minutes away by car. Public transportation is limited, but most residents drive, and the community organizes activities that strengthen neighborhood ties. Retiring in Dahlonega means living with simplicity and abundance at the same time. Affordable rent, friendly climate, and a community that celebrates its history while offering a peaceful present. Here, retirement is measured in shared moments, not in financial worries, and each day becomes an opportunity to enjoy calm and companionship. 5. Sandpoint, Idaho. Sunrise in Sandpoint begins with the sun reflecting off Lake Pendoré. The mountains surrounding the town seem to guard it, and the water sets the rhythm of life. Boat rides, quiet fishing, walks along the shore. Here, retirement becomes a contemplative journey, where each day is measured in reflections on the water and in the certainty that nature is always present. In the center, cafes by the lake offer full breakfasts for less than $10, while family restaurants serve lunches between $12 and $15. Markets sell fresh fish, artisan bread, and local fruits, and a bag full of basic products can cost less than $20. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is around $1,700, although in the outskirts you can find more affordable options closer to $1,200. The cost of living is only about 3% lower than the national average, although some reports place it up to 30% higher due to tourist pressure. The key is choosing wisely. Living outside the center and taking advantage of the off-season allows pensions to stretch much further. Summers are warm, with highs of 28 degrees Celsius, perfect for swimming or boating. Winters, on the other hand, are cold and snowy, with lows that can drop to -10 degrees. That snow turns Sandpoint into a skiing destination, while more than 200 sunny days per year guarantee light and energy even in the harshest seasons. In the afternoons, retirees gather in plazas or by the lake to chat as the sun sets behind the mountains. Music festivals and art fairs strengthen community bonds, and the presence of tourism adds movement without breaking the town's essential calm. Daily life here has a lakeside feel, marked by water and by the sense that each day can be different. As for services, Sandpoint has local clinics and access to larger hospitals in Coeur d'Alene, just over an hour away by car. Public transportation is limited, but the community organizes activities and rides, and most residents get around by car. Retirees find here a safe environment, with cultural activities that complement the natural lifestyle. Retiring in Sandpoint means living between water and mountains, with the strategy of choosing modest housing and taking advantage of the off-season so rent doesn't become a burden. Here, wealth lies in the calm of the lake and in the possibility of living surrounded by beauty without worrying too much about expenses. 4. Taos, New Mexico. Taos isn't understood simply as a town. It's a crossroads of cultures, a space where indigenous heritage, Spanish influence, and contemporary art coexist on every street. Its galleries, murals, and plazas convey the feeling that life here is lived with a spiritual sense, beyond the material. Walking through its streets means encountering ancestral symbols carved in wood, colonial churches that still preserve their solemnity, and modern murals that speak of identity and resistance. This blend makes Taos a place where past and present constantly dialogue, offering residents and visitors an experience that transcends the everyday. When it comes to costs, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment downtown is around $1,500, while a three-bedroom can exceed $2,600. The total cost of living for one person, including rent, is estimated at around $2,400 per month, placing Taos among the most expensive cities in New Mexico. However, food prices remain reasonable. A loaf of bread costs about $3, a dozen eggs around $4, and a kilo of apples less than $5. Eating in a simple restaurant is about $17, while dinner for two in a mid-range place can cost close to $65. For retirees, this means planning is necessary, but the reward is living in a cultural and natural environment that has no equal. Climate is an essential part of the experience. Taos sits in a high desert environment, with warm, dry summers and maximum temperatures reaching 28 degrees Celsius in July, while winters are cold, with lows that can drop to -11 degrees in January. Snow is abundant, more than 37 inches per year, making the town a destination for skiing and winter sports. In return, Taos enjoys more than 280 sunny days per year, giving it a special light that has inspired generations of artists. That clarity, bathing the mountains and nearby villages, is the same that attracted painters, photographers, and writers who found a creative refuge here. Daily life in Taos feels different, marked by the union of tradition and art. Markets sell dried chile, adobe oven bread, and local crafts that reflect the region's cultural identity. A coffee costs around $4, and a craft beer less than $5, becoming small, accessible pleasures. Retirees find in Taos an active community, painting workshops, art fairs, and open-air concerts that fill plazas with music and color. The local hospital handles emergencies and basic needs, while Santa Fe, just over an hour away by car, offers more specialized medical services, ensuring peace of mind in health matters. In the evenings, the streets fill with sounds, guitars accompanying traditional songs, drums evoking indigenous ceremonies, and voices reciting poetry in bohemian cafes. In winter, adobe fireplaces warm homes with a cozy glow, while in summer, terraces become improvised stages for local artists. The community lives with a spiritual sense reflected in every activity, from art fairs to religious celebrations that still preserve their solemnity. Taos is a place where retiring means more than saving. It's living surrounded by art, history, and nature. Here, retirement becomes a spiritual journey, with prices that require planning but with cultural and climatic wealth that cannot be measured in dollars. It's a space where each day can be different, where the high desert light invites you to create, contemplate, and share. Retiring in Taos means choosing a destination that offers not only comfort, but also transcendence. Before continuing to town number 3, remember to subscribe and leave a like to stay up to date on everything and avoid costly decisions in the future. 3. Franklin, Tennessee. Franklin is a town that combines the best of two worlds: the calm of a small community and the closeness to Nashville, with all its cultural and medical offerings. Here, retirement isn't lived as isolation, but as integration into a modern and safe environment. When it comes to costs, the average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is around $1,600 per month, while a 3-bedroom can exceed $2,500. The cost of living is about 5% higher than the national average, but with clear advantages. Food and basic services remain reasonably priced. A coffee costs around $3. A simple lunch in a local restaurant is about $15, and dinner for two in a mid-range place can be around $60. The climate is mild and pleasant. Summers reach highs of 32 degrees Celsius, with sunny days that invite you to stroll through the historic center. Winters are gentle, with lows that rarely drop below -2 degrees, meaning outdoor life remains active all year long. Daily life in Franklin is marked by comfort. Supermarkets offer affordable prices. A bag full of fresh fruits and vegetables can cost less than $20. Retirees enjoy well-maintained parks, public libraries with free activities, and community centers that organize art and music workshops. In addition, the closeness to Nashville guarantees access to top-tier hospitals and a cultural scene that includes concerts, museums, and festivals. Franklin also has a historic air that sets it apart. Its streets preserve 19th century houses, and downtown cafes serve full breakfasts for less than $10. Neighbors know each other, plazas fill with craft fairs, and the community maintains a safe and welcoming atmosphere. Retiring in Franklin means choosing a place where rent is manageable, services are within reach, and life is enjoyed with the tranquility of a town and the conveniences of a nearby city. Here, retirement is measured in quality of life, not in sacrifices. 2. Street George, Utah. Street George is known as the City of Eternal Sun. Located in the desert of southern Utah, this town has become a magnet for retirees seeking to escape long, cold winters. Here, climate is the star. More than 300 sunny days per year, hot summers with highs surpassing 38 degrees Celsius, and mild winters where lows rarely drop below 5 degrees. The cost of living is attractive. The average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is around $1,300 per month, while a 3-bedroom can reach $1,800. The overall cost of living is about 8% lower than the national average, meaning pensions stretch further in housing and food. A coffee costs around $3. A simple lunch in a local restaurant is about $13, and dinner for two in a mid-range place can be around $50. Daily life in Street George revolves around the outdoors. Markets sell fresh desert fruits, dates, and local products at affordable prices. A bag full of vegetables can cost less than $20. Retirees enjoy well-kept parks, walking trails, and golf courses stretching under the sun. Public transportation is limited, but most residents drive, and the city is designed so everything is close by. As for services, Street George has modern hospitals and specialized clinics, giving peace of mind to those seeking quality medical care. The community also organizes cultural and sporting activities, open-air concerts, art fairs, and golf tournaments. Street George is a place where retiring means living with energy and light. Here, retirement isn't measured in expenses, but in sunny days, desert walks, and the certainty that the climate is always on your side. 1. Asheville, North Carolina. After traveling through mountains, lakes, and towns full of history, we arrive at the grand finale. Number 1 could only be Asheville, North Carolina. Here, retirement becomes a rebirth, a pact with creativity and community. Asheville vibrates with art and bohemia. Its streets are an open stage, murals telling stories, guitars playing on every corner, cafes, where a $3 espresso becomes the excuse for hours of conversation. The average rent for a one-bedroom is around $1,300. And although the cost of living is a bit higher than the national average, what you get in return is invaluable. A cultural environment that never stops. The climate matches this vitality. Warm summers reaching 30 degrees Celsius, mild winters that rarely drop below -2, and more than 220 sunny days per year that illuminate festivals, book fairs, and jazz concerts. Daily life here is a creative mosaic. Markets offer artisan bread and fresh vegetables for less than $20 a bag. Retirees paint in community workshops, young people fill the streets with indie music, and plazas become improvised stages. Regional hospitals guarantee quality medical care, and transportation connects historic neighborhoods with modern areas. Asheville is number 1 because it doesn't just offer reasonable prices and modern conveniences. It offers emotion, light, and belonging. It's the place where retirement transforms into a second youth, where each day can be different, and where life is measured in experiences that leave a mark. And so, after this tour of 10 quiet, hidden mountain towns in the United States that, at first glance, seem like a true paradise for those seeking a peaceful retirement without the burden of rent, the big question arises. Which of these 10 would you choose as your favorite at first sight? I'd love to hear your opinion. Have you visited any of them, lived in any of them, or do you know someone who has? Any experience or information you share in the comments could be very helpful for those considering moving or retiring to a place where time seems to have stood still. And speaking of helping, it might also be useful to watch the video I'm showing you right now. Because, as you know, staying informed is key. And for that, there's nothing better than subscribing to the channel and leaving a like, so we can continue exploring together the best, and sometimes most surprising, places to enjoy life without spending a fortune.